All right. It is May 7th, 2024. My name is Joey Ragona. I've got a very special guest in the green room, blue room, yellow room, purple room, whatever color she decides it's going to be. And I'm just kind of going to kind of stretch her time a little bit here for a second because of the new whole Facebook thing and trying to get into the group. So I don't know if this is streaming to the group yet. I'm actually looking over here on my other monitor. It doesn't look like it is. And the last couple of times it hasn't gone into my group. So I am going to go into doing something over here that you can't see. And does it really matter? I don't know. But it matters to me. And I want to try to get into this thing and see if I can just go live. Make sure that... Oh, it is. It says I'm live. Okay, cool. So let me bring on my special guest. Oh, Shannon, so we didn't do this. Oh my gosh. We were having such a good time that I forgot to actually put her into these little boxes here. So I'm going to go through each of these and you can just talk in the background and share like how awesome you are while I'm doing this.
Oh my God. What do you want me to do? Talk?
I don't know. Like, let's fill some time as I fix out this.
Okay. I'm awesome, and Joey endorses that. So thank you, Joey, so much. I'm super happy to be back, and we are back in action with a live stream tonight. And we're going to talk about, I've got some really specific examples I've pulled.
Examples already? Okay, let's do
it. Messaging that is just like, what the actual hell? Like, what is happening?
So we'll set this up, and I mean, I'm guilty of this because you mentioned this before, and I'm okay with this. I'm okay by like, you know what, I kind of screwed that up, and so I'll let you set it up. But just for everyone to know that, yeah, I recently found out by what you said that I'm doing exactly this thing, and I completely stopped doing it and try not to do it in the future. What is that thing?
And I did the thing too.
Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. Okay.
Yeah. No, because part of what my goal is as a messaging and marketing strategist is to help people understand our words have meanings. We know this, but the words we use a lot of times in marketing and industry specific words just are overused or underbaked, like a bad cookie, or jargon, or something. I don't know. But anyway, I have 3 examples I thought we could go through tonight. So,
okay.
First, can you please tell me why you have a black strip on your nose during a live?
This is my power strip. I'm glad you asked. Because I've been doing a test, actually. I've been, Alex Hormozy made it really, really popular, but I'm not trying to be Alex Hormozy. All respect to Alex Hormozy. But I figured, like, there's got to be something in this hack because I have a deviated septum, right? So basically, it just gives me more air, more oxygen, and I'm testing it. Sometimes I have it on, sometimes I have it off during the day, and I find that when I have it on during the day, I get way more done, more clarity, more oxygen going into my brain, obviously. And I'm like, wow, this really is a life hack. So I figured, you know what? It seems it's working. I'm just going to leave it on as I go through this so I can continue to be clear, hopefully during the broadcast. So there you go. That's what it is.
I love it. Thanks for sharing the story.
Thank you.
So everyone, here's what my post said. A couple days ago. You can scroll on Facebook wall. All my stuff is public. Very open book. It says, quote, I'll say this again. High ticket and low ticket are terms that are completely subjective based on who is interested or who is buying. I'd rather you actually use some damn words that describe the best person for your offer, the expected outcomes, and a realistic time frame for those outcomes. This messaging is driving me nuts. I'm going back to drinking my coffee now on Sunday morning.
I love it. So I want to address it because the premium, the high ticket thing. So I've always been really icky about high ticket. So I thought I was a genius, and I'm like, okay, so I don't want high ticket clients. They're actually premium clients, right? And then to your point is like, no, you're kind of labeling so explain why that's wrong. Explain why that's wrong.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, okay, I need to talk
on the chopping block.
tonight I am geeking out on buyer psychology and messaging. So
Okay, cool.
pen and pencil. This is like going to be $10,000 of my brain in the next hour. Seriously.
I love it.
All right. So the very first thing I want to say to everyone tuning in or watching the replay is your greatest advantage right now in business, in messaging and marketing is to be a damn human. Number one, humanism.
Yes. Yes.
Be a human. It's always been your best advantage. But with the rise of AI and all these other things, people are getting very discerning. And I start seeing the comments on posts like, did AI write this? This sounds like something I read on somebody else's. Like, people are starting to even kind of, I don't condone that kind of behavior, but it's almost like a bullying, like challenging. Did you write this or did AI write this? So my recommendation is you all come to your heart and you create marketing from your heart. Number one. Okay. The problem in my eyes with the high ticket, low ticket first is it takes the human out of the whole equation. Yes. And it I can never say the word.
Productizes.
Thank you. It productizes a human being that we really want to work with to have transformation, but it almost is like, oh, they're a ticket. Are they a high ticket or a low ticket? Like, that shit just doesn't feel good.
Yeah. It totally categorizes them.
Yeah.
They're this, they're that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, what could be high ticket to me or low ticket to me in terms of the price? All right. So this is also not talking about the value, but talking about the price, which is a whole nother issue that this industry, coaching and consulting industry, has seen the lashback in the last year and a half, right? It's relative, right? I just got an invitation to go to a retreat in Bali. It was $4,600. There was a time in my life I would have to think really hard about where would I get that $4,600. Now, I don't have a reaction. If it's high ticket or low ticket, I'm like, yes, sign me up. I'm going to Bali, right? It was $4,600. All of this to say, what we may offer somebody a workshop for $250 or a workshop for $97 or a VIP day for $5K. We need to talk about the value and the transformation from those things, not if it's high ticket or low ticket, because people are going to have different reactions to that based on where they are in their own financial journey, in their own what they value journey, right? So that's really the beef I have with that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, I've been guilty of this all the way through. And even looking back at a post I did a long time ago, and I kind of resurfaced it, I think, in even my Facebook group, where it was all about the mindset. Because I was in like when I wrote that, I think I was not even in that mindset of like, I can't charge this much money. And the high ticket area was somewhere in the realm of like upwards of $10,000 or $14,000 of dollars. And today, if you asked me, last week before I got reamed out by you, I'm only kidding. It was like, what would you say is a high ticket? I'm like, okay, I don't know, 3,500, like 2,000 to 5,000. That's kind of high ticket, right? So, yeah. So you're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So I think that's a big thing. Like, we need to be human. People buy from humans. You're a human. I don't care how many offers you have or how many people are on your damn email list or if you're an influencer, you're a human. And if you want to have really great clients, you will treat people like a human all the way through, from the moment they find you to interact with you to get on your email list or whatever your path is for growing that relationship, right? The other thing I think that's really interesting here is, how do I want to say this? I think I'm going to
pull a Shannon and just say it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to share a story. I sat with Seth Godin a couple weeks ago. I paid, we're talking money, so this conference was whatever it was, I don't know, but I paid $1,500 because that was the ticket price for the one-day conference that included the lunch with Seth Godin.
Yes.
So I basically paid $1,500 to sit for an hour with Seth Godin. Fine. I knew what I was paying for. It was worth every penny. All right. So it didn't need to be marketed to me in any way. We're talking about value. What's the value to the person? Somebody else would say, whatever, I'll read his books. It's fine. And that's fine. They wouldn't pay the $1,500 or they couldn't pay the $1,500. To me, it was like super value. So one of the things that happened that I thought was so profound is he did a Q&A before our lunch. And 7 people had submitted questions and they went up and they asked their question to him. And one of the questions was a newer business owner had left corporate and she said, everywhere I've read, I see that it takes like 3 to 5 years to really make a business viable. And I'm wondering if you can give me any insight on how to shorten that, because they really don't want it to take 3 to 5 years.
Right.
Very valid question, right? Super valid question. So first he goes like this. In his style, like,
yeah.
And then with just love and compassion and just straightforward honesty, which is why I love the guy, he said, I can have a profitable business in 5 minutes. Would you like me to explain this to you? And everyone's like, yeah. So he said, I can walk down the street to a deli and I can buy 5 bottles of water for $1. And then I'm going to go find 5 really thirsty people. And I'm going to sell a bottle of water for $5. I have now made $4 in profit.
Uh-oh. Did we just lose Shannon? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know what? There she is. Okay, she came back. All right, there we go. I don't know what happened. It wasn't me.
Okay. So anyway, he demonstrated that in 5 minutes you could quickly have a business if you have the mindset. But what is underneath all that? He didn't say, go find 5 people who already have water. He didn't say, go find 5 people who don't need water. And he didn't say, go find 5 people and explain to them why they're thirsty so they will buy your water, which is what we all do in our messaging.
Right.
We spend so much time trying to tell people why they need the thing. Right. And it was so enlightening. And I've been chuckling about that conversation ever since, because what I took away from it is people buy whatever, water, coaching, a ticket somewhere, whatever, a movie ticket, it doesn't matter. People buy things they value and they see as a bargain.
Yes.
And we've all been at a stadium or somewhere without water, dying of thirst, and we don't think twice about $5 or $8 for a bottle of water. When we need it, we need it. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think this goes really well with this high ticket, low ticket. And if we just throw that out and we start talking about the value of the thing, let the people find the value in the words that you're using, not categorizing it and labeling it with this ambiguous stuff.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. My brain went to another Seth Godin story. Can I share that with you?
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna take us off track a little bit, but I think it's kind of cool with the human or what we do for our clients. Have you ever heard him tell a story about the iced coffee?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is cool. Really short. I may butcher it, but basically here's what he did. He was actually here in Ontario, and he went up north, and he stopped at one of those famous hot dog places thingies, right? And he's in line. He goes up and he says, "Can I have an iced coffee?" And the person says, "We don't sell iced coffee." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Do you sell coffee?" And she says, "Yes, we sell coffee." "Do you have ice?" And she says, "Yes. Can you give me some coffee? And can you put some ice in the coffee?" And then it was just brilliant, because it was basically about how can I make this happen for the customer? And I thought it was just a really cute story about, being human and okay, how can I make this happen? Rather than, sorry, that's not my job, or we don't have that on the menu. Right. So anyway, I just had to get that out, because my ADD would not have let me go through the next hour with you without saying that story.
Yeah. Well, as the messaging strategist and and the brilliance I bring, I'm going to tie that shit back in.
Okay, let's do it.
I think, I know, and I've been guilty of it too. We can all use our industry jargon. We can all do what we've always done, or we can take a pause. And when we're asked something like, do you have iced coffee? You could say, well, it's not on the menu, but I do have coffee and I do have ice. Would that work for you?
Right.
And I think it goes with what we're talking about here. Be clear in what you have, what you're good at, what you excel at. If you're not good at it, quit selling that shit and send them on to somebody you know that's really good at it. Yeah. And everyone wins. How did you like that?
It's, oh man, it's just brilliant. I love it. It's just crazy, like how you can tie things together. And there's another thing I want to mention to you, because this is really tied into what you're saying, is back in 2012, I don't know if I told you this, but I'll tell you again anyway. I was in private mastermind with Robert Cialdini, Influence, right? Okay.
Yep.
And I remember that moment when I was just getting into this world. I had no real idea of anything, and listening to him, and Be More Human was the thing that stood out to me in that session. And I still have it on a slide that I teach today, right up to today, as part of my program, which is Be More Human. And I started that program way before AI was even popular. And now it's even more important to everything that we're talking about here. So it's uncanny of how it impacted or just was tattooed on my brain back in that conference. I can still see it like it was yesterday, sitting there watching him. And I even have a picture of it. Like he was like sitting there, and I took the picture of like, wow. And in my book, it was like Be More Human, and it's highlighted, it's circled, has everything to do with being human. And that's what we're doing, is like these high ticket and low ticket, we're taking that humanness out, which is what I love what you said about that. And even, going back to the words, Shannon, to the norm industry, I started taking these out of my vocabulary a long time ago, which like all the warfare stuff that has to do with marketing, like bait and capture, right? And I just took it all out.
Tripwire.
Pardon me?
Tripwire.
All of it. It's like email blast. I go, who do I want to? You want to email blast? What, are you kidding me? I don't want to be blasted, right? Yeah. It's just all warfare. So I started taking all that out, and I should have went another level further. Started taking out like, I want a high ticket client. No.
Yeah. It's real.
It is real. So how can we fix this problem?
How can we fix it? Well, when we work with our clients, really, I mean, honestly, and I have to do this here too. And I have been doing this for 13 years, and this is my world day in and day out. I write the first shitty draft. It's done. It's on the Google Doc. It's on the notepad, wherever it is. And then I go back and I look at, where is it unclear? Where is it jargony? Where can I warm it up with a story or whatever? And I think it's a great exercise for everyone. Don't publish the first thing you write. Seriously.
Go ahead.
That's hard for me because I can write on the fly, and I've trained my brain to write human marketing. There is such a thing.
There is.
Absolutely. But still, I will, if I slow down and I don't hit publish and I go back even the next day or a couple hours later, I'll be like, I need to reword this line. This is not clear, right? It's jargony.
Mm-hmm. And so another big thing that I learned a little while ago, maybe a few years ago, was the whole B2C and B2B. And I don't know who said it first, but there is no such thing.
Yeah.
Right? There's what? You know what this is.
H to H.
Right. So can you talk about that a little bit? So for anybody who's listening, what are you talking about here? What are you guys talking about? Yeah. What does that mean?
So H to H is human to human in my world, marketing or communication, or selling, right? It goes either way. But the world has categorized this into B2C and B2B. And, you know, okay, if we got to have categories, how about one human to another human in a corporation? Or one human to another, like, right? Even reducing things down like that. But it's just part of our vernacular. It's just like what we've grown up with. And I just signed a client today to become their fractional CMO. And he went on to tell me all things. Well, this is the B2B side and this is the B2C side. And I just stopped him and I said, listen, can we talk about human marketing?
Right.
What do the humans in this group want to know? What do they value? How can you help them? What do the humans on this? And he was like, wow, that was really good. Like, it really takes the confusion out of the language we think we need to use based on the audience.
And even the way you approach it.
Yeah.
Right? Even the way you approach it, because there's still a human on the other end of that B2B, that business. Even if that person has a budget or whatever it is, like, you're still speaking to a human who wants something from your service, product, whatever that may be. It could be different, but it's how you speak to them and all that stuff. But it's still, we're speaking to a human on that other side. Once that was put in front of me and I realized it, like, holy crap, that's totally right. I'm going to stop this whole categorization of, like, I'm speaking to a consumer or I'm speaking to a business. Doesn't matter. It's a person on the other end that wants something that if I could serve them, how do I relay that message to them so that it's a benefit to them? And I don't have to convince them, hey, guess what? You know you're thirsty, right? You want this water, don't you? Right? None of that stuff.
Yeah, I love it. All right, I have another example. I cannot wait. I have been holding this close to my heart because I just wanted to see your first reaction.
Okay. Oh, God.
Because I don't even know if you know what this is. All right. Let me just say the words first. 2 words. If you know what it is, you'll know what it is. If not, I'll do a little background and then we'll, like, jam out.
I'm scared. Okay, go.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Mystery offers.
Oh, okay. Mystery offers. Okay.
Okay. What do you know about it? Have you seen this in action? Or do you want to take a guess? If you don't, what it might be? What the hell is a mystery offer?
I think I'm going to say that I've seen it played out a few years ago for me, and which is why I no longer navigate in that area of that. So, but I don't have enough to really talk about it in the context that I think that you want to go. So I'm going to leave it to you, and then I'll interject.
All right, and I want to hear from our viewers as well.
It's going to be tough. The conversation is going to be tough because we don't get any more Facebook comments. If you're on the Facebook page, I might get them through here, but I haven't. There's a whole other, another one of the blocks. So I'm not seeing comments.
Yeah. All right. So you ready? I'm going to literally read part of this post that I saved just for this conversation.
I'm going to go into the Facebook group, by the way. I'm not ignoring you because maybe the comments are in here. So go ahead.
Okay. My mystery offer ends in 24 hours and there are still some spaces open. For those who love to play in the mystery, there are 4 price points and all offers are close proximity in group or one-on-one mentorship. Feel the frequency and make your move. Upon purchase, you will find out your investment, and I will see you so soon.
Oh my God.
Offer 1, $555, 9 spots. Offer 2, $5,555, 5 spots. Offer 3, $15,555, 3 spots, and a bonus, $55,555, 1 spot.
Okay, so no, I have no idea of this. Oh my God. So
I'm sorry. I just laugh because, I I mean, you're traumatized, but I already went through that phase like a year ago. Now I'm just like, oh my God, it's back. People are selling this shit again.
So explain to me. So like I get on the sales page and I just click a button and then basically it just rotates and goes, here's the offer for you. One of those 4 that you mentioned or whatever. Like what happens?
So you get on a sales page and you get to pick your investment level. So let's say you can afford or whatever, you'll take a risk on $550. You'll buy it. And then once you pay, they're going to deliver what it is that you bought for afterwards.
Okay. So I have no idea what's in the package. It's like, here's the money. Sorry, I got to go off camera. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I thought I saw it all. Like seriously, I thought I saw it all. And wow. It's like, so maybe it's because I've been out of that world for the last 5 years that I don't see this stuff anymore. I don't know. God. What's that supposed to do, Shannon?
Well.
Oh, okay. So Jackie's got something to say here. I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah,
what do you think about it, Jackie?
I mean, here's the thing. We can look at this. Let's be open-minded. All right.
Okay.
Let's just throw all our skepticism to the side and let's play out mini scenarios. All right.
Okay.
First thing from a messaging strategist, somebody that understands the psychology of buying. People trust this person and they want to be in this person's energy and they're willing to pay whatever to make sure that they can get not what's the word? Not lose their chance. Whatever that would be.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah. No FOMO.
No FOMO.
Right? All right. That's one scenario. Okay, let's just take it a little deeper. In my opinion, if that's the scenario that's playing out from a messaging and psychology of marketing and messaging perspective, this person has put themselves on a pedestal intentionally or unintentionally, and people are buying access or proximity. Could be. That's one scenario. All right. Another scenario. I mean, they're really good at what they do and they have raving client reviews, and no matter what they put out, it sells like hotcakes, and this is the easiest way because they don't have to write marketing copy.
I see.
Could be. I don't know because I'm not buying it, but that could be a scenario. All right, can you think of another scenario? Or are you still flabbergasted with your black strip on your nose?
Yeah, my black strip is not doing me any favors right now because I don't have any clarity on this one. Gee whiz. It totally to me is a power move. It's more of a positioning. You know, it's kind of like I'm thinking this scarcity of like, I don't know. I got to think about it. I've never been in that situation. I've been in a mystery situation before where it was like a gift or something where you got to pay for it, but it was all one price. And it's like, we're not going to tell you what's in this, but it was more of like, do you trust me enough that this will be 100 times what you pay for it? That was the challenge. It was like, do you trust me enough? I'm not going to tell you what's in it. Pay me this much money, but it's worth 100 times more. When you get it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And if not, I'll give you back all your money, whatever type of thing. So that was the mystery situation I was in.
What, did you buy it?
I did.
And can you talk about what it was? Or what was it worth it?
There was books, there was PDFs, there was like a couple of digital courses that you would pay, like that kind of stuff. It was a bundle of that. And I can't remember because I didn't actually get the physical thing. I was supposed to get a physical box, which really intrigued me. I'm like, wow, because that's kind of cool when you actually get a package now in the mail, right? But that didn't happen, so I didn't really get the full experience. And it wasn't the fault. It wasn't their fault. It was because of whatever happened. Like it just, I
Yeah.
don't blame the thing,
Yeah.
whatever it was at the time. So I didn't get that full experience. So I got more of the digital experience of it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't say, wow, was not worth it.
Yeah.
But I wanted that experience to, like Joe Polish one time, like, they sent me a backpack or something like that. And again, it's like you have no idea. So you're doing a donation or whatever it is, and you get this thing. And that was a cool experience. It wasn't because it was like cool to donate. And then you get this thing and you get this backpack and you open it up and you get all these books, different books, and like, wow, this is really cool kind of thing. So that's what I was expecting. So anyway, I won't go on
But
and on about that.
here's the thing. No, I think it's good. That last scenario you said is that you knew you were donating to a cause. And in addition to the donation to whatever cause, you were going to get a gift in return. You probably were more motivated by the donation to the cause, and the
100%.
gift was a byproduct,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. 100%. So Jackie is saying the danger is that it's not very trauma informed. So it's playing on the FOMO energy and can be very disruptive energetically, especially because there are typically no refunds after you buy. That's another one. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. There's so many cans, open worms here, or cans of worms opening, whatever it is. Yeah. Like the no refunds thingy.
Like, okay, let me ask you this. Let's just play. You loved the person, whoever this was. You loved everything they did. Like, you were a huge fan. Like, it was Seth Godin. All right.
Okay.
And he said he would never do this. But he said,
right.
I got 3 offers for you. Here's the price. You pay what you want. I mean, you pay whatever fits your needs. Upon delivery, you're going to get what you paid for. And if you're not satisfied, I'll give you a refund.
That's a completely different story to me. I would be more open to that. Because then it's kind of like, I have this gift. Do you want one of these 3 boxes? And if you pick the box and you open it and you don't like it, you could return it and have another box. It's basically, okay, I got nothing to lose here.
Exactly. Yeah. So if there was a refund, might this work? Maybe. Do you want to try it, Joey?
What's the advantage of it? Like, I kind of think I know what the advantage is. What is it for you? Like, what do you see? Jackie, like, what do you see? Anybody else listening? What is the advantage of having a mystery thingy? And yeah, you've got nothing to lose because you can get your money back if you don't like it. What's the advantage of that? Like, why that extra step?
Okay, so
why the gate?
For me, no advantage, because I want to read it all. I want to understand it. I want to make a good decision. That's my process. But there's a lot of people, maybe their buying process is more, I'd love to see what's in here once I bought it. Or their brain loves the mystery or loves that surprise element. I don't even like surprise birthday parties. Do not throw me one.
Well, to that, okay, not the birthday party, but happy birthday, by the way. Anyway, so okay, so this is another level, and I think it's connected totally. It's like when you go to a sales page, and it says, buy the offer, but there's nothing there, and you have to click the thing to see what the offer is. That already pees me off. I'm like, why do that? Why are you freaking hiding the offer behind a buy button? They had to read all the way down. They had to click the dang thing. It's like, just put the freaking stuff on the page. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, why are you hiding this up front? Yeah. Even when it goes back to when I was doing webinars and doing the sales thing at the end of the webinar, immediately at the top, I would say, look, here's what I'm going to do. And by the way, there's going to be a point that I'm going to offer you something for $1,500. And I just wanted to put that up because, if $1,500 is like, what are you, crazy, Joey? Then I've just saved you some time. Secondly, my job is to prove to you over the next 45 minutes of why that $1,500 is going to be worth it to you. And at the end of the day, even if you didn't want that thing, I'm still going to give you massive, massive value. So there's no surprises. And third or fourth, whatever my counting is when I get to that point, I'm going to tell you, now I'm going to transition into the offer. That's it. Everything was totally upfront because
Yeah.
I wanted them I wanted them pretty much engaged. And like, I'm going to teach you some really cool stuff here. If that's all you get out of this, I am happy. But here's
Yeah.
what's going to happen as well. Anyway, I don't know what your thoughts are on about that, but I am more that person, totally upfront.
Yeah. We run at least one workshop every single month, sometimes many across different communities. And we call it the covenant, right? And the covenant is you've trusted me with your time. Even if there was a workshop fee, you trusted me with your
Right.
money and time. I am going to deliver what I said. And we're also going to make an offer for you if it feels good to you. Hang around at the end. But you're right. I don't
Right
like
on.
surprises at
Yeah,
all.
even if they know it, like now everybody knows, okay, they're going to be a webinar, there's probably going to be a sales pitch at the end, blah, 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 right? They all kind of know it, but I'm still, if I did a webinar today, that's exactly what I would do. And in fact, I'm not even going to take credit for this because I learned this one from Jay Abraham way back when I was doing actual workshops, like live workshops. And he said, when people get there, like have the actual flyer, because you know, you use at the end of the thing, like here's the offer. So just put the flyer right on there as soon as they get there. Like they know there's going to be an offer at some point through the day or the weekend or whatever. Just put the dang thing there, and they have all this time to marinate on what it actually is. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to go do that, and it worked brilliantly. Why? Because when people went to the okay, go for your lunch or whatever people say, and I say, if anybody questions about what we just talked about, what do you think they asked? Hey, Joey, can we talk about what this offer means? It was so brilliant that I didn't have to do any selling. And it was like, and what I added to that was, and I still do this on the webinar, and anybody who's listening, you can do this too, is the fact of, I want you to be engaged with me. I don't want your subconscious to be thinking, when is the offer going to come? When is the transition? Because you're going to miss out on all this really cool stuff. So please be engaged. Here's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm going to even tell you when the offer is so you can exit. You can say, that's enough for me.
Absolutely.
Click opt out and leave the Zoom room or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Love it. That's exactly how we run every workshop, whether it's paid or free. And
All right.
back to where we started, we lead with the value. This is not that hard, people.
I want to come back to that because can you read what Jackie said?
As coaches, we need support discerning decisions rather than encourage impulsive fear-based decisions.
Yes, 100%.
So I want to say something about Jackie. I hope she won't mind. I love Jackie. We exchange a lot in messages. I made an offer yesterday to help Jackie. After many messages back and forth over a few months, 2 months at least, maybe 3. And I finally just said, Jackie, are you ready to get this thing done? Like, I got room for a client. You ready to go? And she came back and she said, I'm not ready yet. And then she gave me all the reasons why, which was great. But I simply said to her, I trust you and I trust your process. I'll be here when you're ready.
Love it. Totally love it. Totally love it.
That is how you build relationships as a human, y'all.
Yeah, you know my third pillar, right? Respect their timeline. Like that's
Absolutely.
it. That's just when they decide not decide. It actually is decide, but it's more of this. When they see themselves as a client of yours and then decide to work with you, period. That's the way I look at it. Like, I don't need to decide for you. I don't need to choose or give you FOMO or give you a mystery on like, hey, I'm just flabbergasted by that whole thing still.
I got you tonight.
Yeah, it's
all right. Well, I have one more.
Okay.
But I want to share my screen. Can I share my screen?
One, I think so. I'll give you full screen.
Let me see if
I don't know if you can through here.
Oh, Google Chrome. No, won't let me share. All right. Here's the essence of it, y'all. This is easy. Okay. I did get permission. My client, who just came in to work with us, sent a beautiful email out to her list. All right. And I loved the messaging of it, of course, because I checked it. But when it landed in my inbox, there was something really crazy going on. And I want to talk about it. Can you come back to the screen? There you are.
I'm here.
I was feeling lonely there. Okay, here's what she said. This is an instance of not what she said, but something else. So I want everyone to listen. All right. Beautiful example. This is a total thing that maybe you haven't put the pieces together yet, but as your messaging and marketing psychology person, I got you. All right. The email, blah, blah, blah. Great email. At the bottom, it said, bring your questions and a pen and paper. This event will normally be $147, but this time you can purchase it for $107. There are only 6 seats left, which was true because we set a sales goal of 20 and she sold 14 fast. So 6 seats left. Click here to purchase the ticket. I love the energy of group settings. The guidance is multiplied and so is the conversation. Like, beautiful message, beautiful invitation. Here was a problem. There were 2 lines that showed up in bold red. Now, her thought was, as many people think, let's make that part stand out.
Stand out.
Right? There are only 6 seats left. Click here to purchase the tickets. Red.
Red.
I went, we have been conditioned that red means warning, stop, do not buy, danger, do not pass go. And so I took a screenshot and I messaged it to her. I said, you sent the most beautiful email. It felt really good for me to read, but please don't ever use red again for these reasons. And she literally wrote me back in Messenger and she said, you blow my fucking mind every time you open your mouth.
I can see that one coming. That was, you're absolutely right, because I've used red very, very rarely, but for that reason. It's like, stop, listen to this, or whatever it is. Like, it's supposed to do that, not like. And to me, that's more of a fear base as well. Only 6 spots left. Warning, 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 and it's more of a pressure thing to me when I would read that in red, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said to her, how do you feel about, I think the seats are all gone. So I can't say that. I haven't checked in with her yet. But what I can say is I said, I would love to know if we sent this again and we put those 2 lines in green, if we could move those 6 seats. Right? Because green for us is money. Go, feels good, I'm all in. Yes, like that's what we've been conditioned, at least in this society, right? So anyway, I'll be speaking with her tomorrow, and that's just a really interesting thing. Like, there was nothing wrong with her words. It was the color that got attached to it, right? And these things matter, people, more than you ever know to your bank account.
Right. No, like, you're bringing up a huge point, because I remember back in the day of going through setting up all the automations with, all the ascensions and the things, and there was a lot of talking about colors and things like that, and that's where I had a lot of it. I don't do it anymore, and the only thing I do is bold. I don't even I don't use any color whatsoever. Can't even imagine. Yeah. What I do now is I break it up. So if I was doing it, not that the color's bad, but I would break it up and put it in its own line and put it in the middle, and then make it maybe even a H2 or H1, H2. Yep. So it highlights itself and it's its own thing. It's like, wow, there's only this. But green would definitely pull your attention, aside from what I just said. But totally cool.
But I think the other thing, which is really interesting, as we all try to be more inclusive, is if we have colorblind people, for instance, on the email, what might they be seeing, or what can't they see if we put it in a certain color?
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
We onboarded a new client last week, and I did what I've done for 6 years, which is use the onboard form in a Google Doc, and then I copied and pasted what we said and what we're doing and all things, and I sent an email. One part of that is her goals. Those were highlighted in green. And the other part was action items, and they were highlighted in yellow. And she was so kind, and she messaged back and she said, Shannon, thank you for the beautiful notes and all the detail, but less highlighting. I cannot read this stuff. And so I I was like, oh, I didn't need to ask her 15 million questions. Why? It didn't matter. I sent it back with all the highlighting removed. And she's like, that was so nice of you.
Right. I mean, wow.
Right. So even that, I've been doing it 6 years and I didn't, until somebody said something to me. And that made me, when I went for a run the next day, I'm like, all that stuff I learned as a teacher about colors and colorblind, maybe I should actually revisit that in my own marketing, logos, whatever that is. Like, how many people might we be missing and we don't even know it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
I'm thankful that my stuff is so simple now that you're saying this. Like, I got colors in some, in like maybe my, just thinking now to my Facebook group or even to this right here. The front thing is, but I still think you could see that though. Wouldn't you be able to see that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Heart Center Marketing is white, and then the background would be like a grayish tone, I think, for colorblind.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, something to think about for sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. Like, you're bringing up so many. Well, this conversation can go like in any direction here on which one of these do we want to pick on and really dive deep on. You know, start off with the words that we need to get rid of and categorizing people as, you know, high ticket or low ticket people. What else is there? Is there any other words that you kind of are irritated by that kind of categorize? And is it okay? Let me ask you this. Is it okay to categorize the program? Because I switched it, and maybe I'm making a total mistake of that too, because I'm saying, well, you know, I still look at dream clients, but dream clients who are in, how do I say this? So I'm doing a premium group experience with dream clients.
Okay. As like, if you were my client, the number one thing I would ask you is, what does premium mean to you?
That's a great question. How would I answer that? The first answer that comes to mind is just my replacement of high ticket. I know that a premium means that it's like VIP. It's more of like, I'm, you know, that kind of thing. It's not your low dollar stuff. It's not your run of the mill thing. It's premium. Like, I go to a movie theater, I'm like, I want the premium seating. I want the experience. I want all of that. Mm-hmm. That's what kind of premium means to me. But it's also on that level of, oh, I'm going to be spending money on this. And when I say the word premium, every time I talk about Atlas and somebody doesn't know the price, and like it starts out like it's $4,200, but you can, like, you know, one pays a $3,000. But if I just say, oh, it's like $3,000, they're like, oh, that's kind of what I expected. They never say, holy crap. Like, they understand in their own mind, I guess, that they give a range of premium to themselves. Like you said at the beginning, like they have their own perception. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And thank you for the explanation. I would say, based on that explanation, you came up with that word because you didn't like a different word. But can 100%. You really tell me what it means? Like, what the value is if we didn't come up with it for something else? Because I don't think you need it. That's where I'm going to go with this. I don't think you need it.
Okay.
Like me, Joey, and I'm not your ideal client, right? Like, I'm not. I'm just not. We know this. We both serve different people, and I'm gone through what you're teaching. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
So for me, when I would read premium, if it came from you, and I am on your email list, all right, and I do see your social media, and I'm in your group, it doesn't apply to me because premium to me, that isn't what I need right now. What I need is something else that you don't even offer. So the word doesn't make sense to me.
Got it.
Right?
So it's okay. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, and I think like the bigger question for all of us, and it's just like a really heart-centered question. I might cry saying this, so it's probably like right there. Why do we feel we need to prove, defend, or otherwise?
Yeah, I honestly don't think I'm doing that, defending or proving. I think it's more of a categorization, or like I'd have to unpack this a little bit more, but it's more of, because I know that the work that I do doesn't work with somebody who is a $97 offer or $297 offer, right? Like it just doesn't work. So it's me trying to position it like, look, if you have a premium offer, whether that's 500 and above, that's kind of where I, and to me, even a $500 is too low. But it's like, that's where I want their mindset to be, because I've spent a lot of time, not that it's bad time, but a lot of time with explaining and going through the process and the heart-centeredness and all that. And they're like, oh, wow, like how can I make $10,000 a month doing this? And I'm like, well, what are you charging? Like $97. Like, oh, wow, that's going to be a lot of relationships to do what, right? Mm-hmm. So it was more of them deciding whatever that premium thing is. But at the same time, admittedly, was like, I just don't want to use high ticket. What is a better word? Even if it's high value, that's another area that I'm kind of playing with. Yeah, I agree. Like, but how else can I position it? Because dream clients is even worse, right? Because they're like, oh, dream clients is just like ideal client avatar. Like, no, it's not. So the people understand now mostly of like what dream clients means to me, as opposed to it's just another word for ideal client avatar. No, they kind of get that because I'm talking about it constantly. Mm-hmm. So how would I do that? How would I position it?
Okay, so this brings up a really important question. I don't know the answer. You're going to know the answer. But based on your answer to this question, I'll probably have a deeper insight for you. Anywhere where they're reading about your program, the premium, whatever.
Yeah.
Is the pricing visible, or do they have to talk to you to get pricing?
No, they'll talk to me first. Okay. However, I do not hide it. So in other words, let's say I'm on a workshop. I do with Kajabi every week, every month. And I'll talk about stuff and I'll talk about however it comes up. I will easily say, when at least to give an example and say like, well, when I'm talking about doing this and building relationships and for my $4,200 program of Atlas, the premium price of having that experience, like I'll easily say those things in conversation. So like they kind of know, but it's not like front and center all the time. And my premium $4,200 program is like, it doesn't happen that way. Yeah. So the answer is yes and no. It's not like I'm trying to hide it.
Okay, but wait, I didn't ask if you're trying to hide it. I said, is it on the page?
There is no page.
Okay. So they can only hear about your program and what it is and all the things, including the price, if they have a conversation with you.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, yes. Again, this is a yes and no question, because look at right now, we're talking about it. This is going to be everywhere on the internet for the rest of the world, right? So, and even in my group, like I'll say things like that. So they'll see it if they're paying attention. But the way that Atlas works is there is no sales page. That's why it works so well, because I'm curating the tribe and all that other stuff we don't have to get into, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah, here's the thing. And I'm going to do a disclaimer here, because everyone gets to do it how they want to do it. I don't care how people do it. But I can tell you, I used to have this battle of how do I describe it so when I tell the price, it's not a shock. I mean, it's a thing. And I don't care if we're talking $500 for a workshop or $5,000 for a VIP day or whatever. I don't care what we're talking about, right? I had a very hard conversation with myself. And I said to myself, I have been trained from bro marketers. Those were my coaches early on. Mm-hmm. Boy, did I make a shit ton of money. I can't say it was joyful, but I made a lot of money, right? But I hid the pricing. Now, take it as a grain of salt. They couldn't get the program. They could only read the program. They didn't get the call, whatever. I had to have this moment of truth when I came around and said, I want to bring kind messaging to the world. What does that mean for me? For me, it means you can go to any page anywhere and you can read everything you've ever wanted to read about it including the price is at the top. So if you get there and you're like, ooh, not for me, you haven't wasted your whole time reading thing, nor a sales call, nor time on my calendar, et cetera, et cetera. It was scary, Joey. It was scary because it is not still to this day what it is done. I can tell you 3 years later, publishing every single page with the price at the top, every single thing you can buy, or for one of our programs, you have to have a call because we're curating too, and we need the right people in there. But at least you're having a call knowing what the price is, right? So there's no surprise there, or whatever that might be. Our sales have almost doubled year after year. And what people say to us, all kinds of people that don't buy, people that do buy, people that don't buy right now but buy later, people that wish they bought because they went and worked with Joe Schmo down the street who sold them a crap of shit and they lost all their money and they came back. It doesn't matter. They continue to say on any feedback anywhere, the transparency and the leadership you bring to this space, and me knowing that I can make a decision based on whatever I read. If I have to have a call, great, but at least I have all the decision. That is why I trust you.
Nice.
And that could make me cry because it was scary. It was scary to be like the lone wolf. And I had coaches tell me and mentors say, you're never going to make it if you do this. You have to get people on the phone to explain the value. And I thought, not if my fucking words will do it. I do not. Yeah. And if I trust, people can make a damn decision for themselves.
100%.
Yeah. So I say that because, you know, it's always a chicken and egg and people do what they want. But for me, I then didn't have to use premium, high ticket, low cost, the high value, because I wasn't trying to mask, hide, prove, cover up, any of those things that were true for me. I didn't have to do anymore. This is the price. You want it? Let's go. I'm ready for you. Let's get to work.
You know, I agree with everything you're saying, and I just want to be clear that the way that it works for me is not through the regular bro marketing where everything has to get on a call and all that kind of stuff. And yes, when people reach out to me, I don't really know if they know the price or not. And I have not, since I started doing this, had anybody come back to me and say, wow, this is way too expensive for me. I've had people say, I need to save some money for this because I want to get into Atlas, whatever, right? And so going forward, once I actually put up a sales page, like a regular sales page, it will be front and center. There's no problem whatsoever. It's not that I'm trying not to do that. It's more of this process is what works at this point for me to... But see, here's the thing. By the time I have a conversation with anybody, and when I mean conversations, it's always by chat or email, okay? Yeah. It's basically that. And it's basically when I put something out and say, I'm doing Atlas next week or next month. Anybody want to talk to me about it? Like, let me know. And we have a conversation. And then I'll send them to the Google Doc, which basically explains, you know, everything that we've already talked about. They've already said it, and all that's doing is verifying. So I don't want people making it a decision based on price. And I get that, but they don't make the decision based on price. And I know that because I've asked pretty much everybody. They're like, no, that wasn't the deciding factor. Because I'm doing all of the selling through what I do and teach in heart-centered marketing, which is serve, not sell. By the time that offer comes out, they've already been served. They know I'm not all about the selling piece of it, and it doesn't really matter about proving that Atlas is the thing for them. They're already like, this is the thing I'm in, like, doesn't matter what it costs. So I found that. To your point, I'm not debating it, that, hey, maybe my sales would double if I put up an actual sales page. That scares me more than anything else, to be honest. Like not because the offer is there in front of them, it's just that process. Because everybody that's coming into my process is completely different than everything else that I've seen anybody else do. Yeah. That's why I'm reluctant right now to actually just go, I'll go to the sales page and let that do the thing, because I do not believe that a sales page does the selling. And I've been writing copy since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. So if you like, if I have to send you to a sales page and you have to read it to understand and make the choice, that's not what a sales page does. A sales page validates. what you've already done in the world and give and all that. It's like, hey, I want to know more about that. Let me go to the Atlas page, and you're kind of scanning through and you're like, oh, okay, got it. Yep, exactly. This is what I want. Done. But most people use a sales page to actually do the selling, or the clarity calls, which is my banker's box down there for 3.5 years. It didn't go anywhere. So I don't even get on any calls anymore. And if it is a call, it's basically to say, can I just verify a little bit about what I just read on the Google Doc after I've already had a conversation with them? They gone to the Google Doc. Can I ask you a couple questions about Atlas? Sure, Shannon. What do you need to know?
Yeah.
On that call, they've already made the decision. They're just verifying a couple of things, and they've already made the decision.
Yeah.
So,
okay, all of that I love, and we just have a difference in one point here, which is fine. This is why we do the show, right? Like,
yes,
two
I'm getting free coaching. That's all I know.
I believe now, this is like a whole workshop I teach y'all, so do not take this with a grain of salt. A well-crafted, not manipulative, not FOMO-ish, not scarcity, well-crafted sales page will do the selling for you.
So I understand that. I'm not arguing with it, but are you saying that if I just sent cold traffic to that sales page, it'll be good enough just to convert that cold person has no idea who you are into a sale?
Well, I don't deal with cold traffic.
But that's my argument. That's what people are thinking. They're like, well, when they hear that, which I totally agree with you, like the better the crafted, it will do some selling, no problem, right? But what I'm saying is that people are like, I need a person to write me some copy so I could sell the dang thing. And all they're doing is sending people like leads, right? They're capturing and they're sending to the sales page and they're going, why isn't this working? I need a better copywriter or whatever. I'm like, that's the wrong thing you're doing.
So I hate to tell you, I mean, we're talking about warm leads, so I'm glad we're talking about it. We're talking about people who are in our ecosystem. They're in our groups. They're referral from you. I'm referring to you. You're referring to me. We can speak to each other's work. They're on the email list, reading all the things. Okay, warm. Okay. But I will say, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have an opinion on it. There are people whose copy is so... Dude, I don't know the right word even, but the copy is so effective.
Yeah.
That they are able to sell to cold traffic with flashy fucking promises, pie in the sky testimonials, outlier results, and these people buy it up. They're also very people that are usually disappointed at the end.
That's my point. I am not arguing with you.
I cannot sit here and say that doesn't work. Like,
well, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't work in our world from what we're talking about, because this is where the people that come to me like, I need this. This is the problem. I'm like, no, that's not the problem. I'm never somebody who's going to say that's never going to work, or don't do Facebook ads because that'll never work. Like, there's always an argument somewhere where somebody's frickin' crushing it, right? You can always find that, even in a down market, and then the whole world economy is gone. Somebody's making large amounts of money, right? Mm-hmm. Always. So I'm never saying that it's never going to work. What I'm saying is, in our world, or at least in my world, I'm like, that's the wrong thing that you're looking at. You're looking at a page that has to do the selling for you, and maybe you might get lucky and hire the best copywriter in the world, or maybe you're the best copywriter in the world. But at the end of the day, even if you did make the sale, to your point, Shannon, are they going to have the result that you made big promises? Because to me, if you have to make big promises, that's another big red flag for me. Yep. Right? It's like, no, it's like, that's the reason why, even Shannon, like, I go out and I say to people, and people think I'm crazy, but they're like, I say to people in Atlas, I go, here's the thing. You're going to give me $4,200. And by the end of those first 9 weeks, you're probably not going to make any money. Yeah. Like, it's totally counterintuitive. Like, why the hell would I give you money? Well, this is the reason why. And there, it's because it's the freaking truth. There's outliers in my program, right? right? There's outliers. But if all I talked about is those people who crushed it to $500,000 in 18 months or $50,000 out of the gate, that would make me a hero. But that's not what happens because I know what my process is. And go figure, let's be freaking honest.
Let's be honest, people.
So anyway, you have to go, and I don't want to keep you any longer because you have to get your shut eye, and I love you. Thank you for being here.
Because I'm probably been asleep by 8:30, so Joey lets me just do 8 o'clock.
Because we could go on forever. Like, I just love having these conversations with you. Thank you so much for being who you are. Thank you for challenging me back and forth and having this open conversation. Are we still friends?
I mean, I still want to be your friend.
That's all.
I base everything on mutual consent. Do you want to be my friend?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
That right there, y'all, is how you build relationships.
Thank you, Shannon. Any final parting words for today? I know you're going to be back very soon.
Oh, I think it'd be fun next time. I don't know if you're game. I mean, I don't want to out anyone, so I don't think I could really do this in integrity, but it'd be fun to find like a sales page that's like so over the top and just talk about not the person, but that would be hard because I don't want to expose people, right? Like integrity matters to me, but maybe we could write one in a Google Doc and we could be like, A or B. Which works better.
That would be kind of cool. I think I've got a million examples somewhere.
Yeah.
And maybe like rewrite them. Yeah. So it doesn't really point to any fingers. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I am not about pointing fingers and making people wrong. That is not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, don't listen to anything we say. This is our own opinion. We're not lawyers. Don't take financial advice from us. Thank you for being here. We will see you on another epic heart-centered marketing next week. Bye, everyone.
Adios.